Hey everybody, it's Tia DeShay. Today is Thursday, April 14th, 2022. It is 11:23 a.m. This is the 40-day prosperity plan demonstration brought to you by Selah Leadership Academy for Creative and Intuitive Studies, LLC, an educational component of Tia DeShay, LLC. This video presentation is brought to you by The Abundance Book by John Randolph Price. You are encouraged to purchase this book and read it in its entirety, and then come back to these video presentations to supplement what you have read. The agenda for today is the protection prayer, meditation, prosperity checklist, statement of principle, gratitude, and resources. The protection prayer is by James Freeman, and it is as follows. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The mind of God guides me. The life of God flows through me. The laws of God direct me. The power of God abides within me. The joy of God uplifts me. The strength of God renews me. The beauty of God inspires me. Wherever I am, God is. Let it be as it was said and written unto you and unto me. It is done. Ashe and amen. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Meditation. What do I know of God? God is life. Life is omnipresent. All is alive. I see this in the wonders of nature. I see this in myself. I am alive because I am life. My life is God's life. My life is God. I feel my livingness within me. I feel God. My awareness of God is growing. God is love. I feel love in my heart and know that this is the very spirit of God flowing through my feeling nature. I cannot love without God. Therefore, I am one with God. My understanding of God is growing. God is wisdom and intelligence. God is mind, and I sense the infinite knowingness of that mind within me. I think, I know, and that with which I think and know is God's mind in expression. My knowledge of God is growing. Where is God? God is where I am. God is what I am. I am an individualization of God, and the Spirit of God dwells within me as me. I am the light of the world. I turn within to the light and say, Thou art the Christ, the Spirit of the living God. You are my spirit, my soul, my body. When I look at thee, I see me. And I listen in the silence for the acknowledgement from within. I am now conscious of God, of my Christ self. I am the Christ of God, the truth of God, the self of God. Through this consciousness of the reality of me, I open the door to spirit. I draw into my mind and feeling nature the wholeness of spirit, the allness of God, and my consciousness is filled with the light of truth. I now know that there is nothing that I could truly desire that is not at this very moment standing at the door of my consciousness, ready to appear in my life and affairs. I have only to be conscious of this truth, and every need is met, every problem solved, every question answered. My consciousness of God within is all I will ever need for all eternity. Breathe in and breathe out. Prosperity checklist. Is my primary interest in realizing the presence of God, or is it in meeting a financial problem? Am I still concentrating on the effect, money, or am I focusing my attention on cause, spirit? Am I willing to take my stand now and prove God once and for all as my all-sufficiency? Have I devoted the necessary time to meditating on the spirit within as the source of my prosperity? Am I conscious of the inner presence as my abundance? Do I have the understanding that my consciousness of the presence is my supply? Am I trying to demonstrate money or develop a greater consciousness of abundance? Have I accepted the truth that the living presence within me is my all-sufficiency, and that the activity of the infinite mind is meeting my every need at this moment? Have I identified myself with my all-sufficient self so that I can say with great conviction, I am abundance. Knowing that my consciousness of the indwelling presence is my supply, can I now affirm and believe the truth that I have abundance? Can I see myself fulfilled and enjoying lavish abundance as Can I see myself fulfilled and enjoying lavish abundance in my life and affairs? Have I truly expressed a feeling of love for the visions of wholeness and completeness that I see in my visualizations? Do I intuitively feel that Spirit has manifest as my all-sufficiency, even though the results may still be invisible? Have I spoken the word, it is done? Have I totally surrendered all my needs, desires, fears, and concerns to the presence within? Have I expressed a deep sense of gratitude to the Spirit within before my good comes forth into visible manifestation? Is my heart overflowing with thankfulness and joy the majority of my waking hours? Am I listening to the voice within for guidance and instructions regarding any action that I am to take in the outer world? Am I following thought with that action? Have I totally forgiven everyone and everything in my consciousness? Am I practicing unconditional love with everyone in my life? Have I maintained a state of secrecy regarding the use of spiritual principles in the demonstration of my supply? Knowing the reality within all and the truth about all, can I see everyone on this planet as abundantly supplied with every good thing, regardless of appearances? Do I desire for everyone else that which I desire for myself? Am I a joyful giver? Do I freely share my money on a regular basis, knowing that as I give, so shall I receive, pressed down and running over? Have I done all that I can do to improve my relationship with my children? In my personal relationship with my mate or love partner, do I care more about his or her feelings and welfare than I do my own? Am I working to overcome any problems related to my sex life? Am I involved in a meaningful activity for creative self-expression? Am I working on my life plan to see myself as whole and complete in every area of my life? The more questions you have answered yes, the richer you are in mind and manifestation. All right, statement of principle, day 34. Through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of God within me is my supply. As I was reading this, I was hearing and I saw, like, imagine the supply within you is like a store. And the store has everything that you could possibly need in this lifetime, from food to toiletries to clothes to jewelry to cars to books, whatever it is that you like, need, desire, want. This store has it, and all you do, and you have it unlimited. You have it unlimited funds. Like, you can come into the store at any time of day, any time of night, doesn't matter. It's open on holidays, and you just go shopping. And they always have what you want. You never have to back order it. It's always there, exactly how you want it. That is the substance that lives within you. That very scenario that I just gave, that substance is your supply. You can go shopping at any time you want to, and it is there waiting for you. You don't have to back order it. You don't have to wait 2-3 weeks for it to come in. It's already there. Exactly how you want it, exactly how you imagine it. All you got to do is pick it, put it in your cart, get to the register, and it's yours, and you check out. Substance. Okay. I'm looking at substance and I notice it says what are the three types of substances, and you learn this like in your science classes. I remember learning this like in middle school, maybe even elementary in science classes. But there are three substances, and substances are just types of matter, things that are tangible, things that take a certain form. So you have your solids, your liquids, and your gases. And when I saw this, I thought about how alchemy is involved in this process of going to this store and picking what you want, and then tapping into this, going to the store, or going or tapping into this substance that's already within you as your supply, getting what you want, and it manifesting itself in the physical form. So solids obviously is the result of the manifestation, when you actually get what you wanted in physical form. Liquids is like water, when you think of water. Um, okay, I see where this is going. I am to share with you how to use alchemy, the substance, how to use alchemy to get the solid, tangible representation of your manifestation. So liquids is like your water. Our body is made up on average 70% water. And our water carries messages. Water carries thoughts and beliefs. If you have not heard of Dr. Emoto, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but research Dr. Emoto, Emoto. He was a doctor who studied water and the effects of words on water, and how water retains energy. And then he did an experiment, and it was like he said nice things to one container of water, and then he said mean things to another container of water, and how the water actually changed its composition, its molecular structure, based on what was said to it. So imagine if years and years and years and years, if you're 70% water, and all you hear is negativity, 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 well, that's being retained in your body. So the substance that you're tapping into is not the divine substance. Well, I don't want to go there. So now you have to work to clear out the water in your body that has retained that negativity. So you may have to exercise where you sweat it out, go to a sauna and sweat it out. Obviously, flush it out, drinking water through your kidneys. Um, but you have to continuously flush out the negative energy that the water in your body has retained. So you have to continuously keep that flushed out. You have to keep that clear and replace it with positivity. And then gases. Gases can be made up of like hydrogen, oxygen, carbon monoxide, um, carbon dioxide, excuse me, um, sulfur. And when I think of gases, I think of when we speak. When we speak, we are releasing gases. We're releasing chemicals that form gases. Also, when you, for people that are maybe advanced in metaphysics and spirituality, that are, or when you're doing energy work, like if you go to Reiki, do Reiki healing, things like that. Some people, or if you do EFT tapping, some people have experienced like belching. They experience like passing gas, farting, to when they're going through these energetic cleansings, like if they're trying to balance the chakras or cleanse the chakras or cleanse, cleanse the energy in their body, balance the energy, the body will release gas. And that's stored up gas that has potentially or has probably caused some type of blockage in your energy field, in your thoughts, in your actions, in your decision making. So that's another way to look at the substance that's within you. It's made up of liquid and gases. Um, and so if those liquids and gases are out of balance, are tainted, they need to be filtered, then your solid, your physical, tangible manifestation is going to be tainted, or it's going to be missing. It's not going to be the fullest expression of your manifestation, because the liquids and the gas part is tainted, if all this makes sense. So the substance inside of you, if you are like really big on science, and you want to look at this from a scientific point of view, look at it like that. The substance is made of solids, liquids, and gases. The substance within you, the unlimited, all abundant substance within you, the divine presence within you, is made up of solids, liquids, and gases. And people, there have been scholarly articles and journals written by scientists who have proven that God, a higher power, quote unquote, is made up of solids, liquids, and gases. So in terms of what we're talking about here, the solid is, you, like I said, it's your physical manifestation. That's how I'm getting to explain it to you. Is your physical manifestation. It's whatever it is that you desire, that you want. That's the solid. That's inside of you. That solid, physical, tangible manifestation is inside of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have even thought to have wanted it, because the divine mind is within you. In some way, shape, or form, that desire, that need, that want, and I won't even say a need, because we have no needs. Everything is taken care of. We are fulfilled because of the divine presence within us. So that desire that we have, that want that we have, is already in solid form within us. It just has to manifest in this third dimension reality. Okay? So the substance within us is made up of solids and is waiting to express that solid manifestation that we desire. The liquid, water, that substance is made up of liquid. So that's why it's so important to keep our bodies flushed with clean water. It's so important to take spiritual baths or spiritual showers. Um, it's so important to do uh, uh, um, alchemy work using the water element so that we can keep the water in our body pure, because our water retains energy, words that are spoken. The water in our body retains traumatic events, the effects of traumatic events. So we have to keep that flowing, keep that pure. Exercise, sweat it out. Go to a sauna, sweat it out. That's why you see many indigenous people, um, Native Americans, who in a spiritual practice, whether it's through initiation or something they do yearly or monthly, they create these practices where you just sweat to clear out all of the toxins, not only physically but spiritually in your body. Sweat it out. That's the liquids, so that you can access the pure substance of the divine within you, the liquid divine within you substance. Hope this is making sense. And then the last part is gases. So, like I said, when we speak, we release gases. Or the body, like I said, when people go get energy healing, if they're trying to align their chakras or heal their chakras or balance the energy in their body, they may belch, or they may pass gas or fart, or they may, if you're suffering from like constipation, colon cancer, although this is not here to diagnose any illnesses, but colon cancer, anything with the bowels, releasing the waste in the body, the energetic cause of that is that the gases in the body are blocked, are heavy. They're weighed down with a lot of toxins, both physically and energetically, and it needs to be cleansed. It needs to be pushed through the body. Because the divine substance within you is made of solids, liquids, and gases. And that's why you have to keep all of that clear and clean. And it's important to, follow an eating regimen that the Spirit gives you, and follow an exercise regimen that the Spirit gives you, following a breathing. That's related to gas and liquid as well. Breathing. Following a breathing regimen that the Spirit gives you, following a meditation regimen that the Spirit gives you, so you can keep your body clear of all of that, so that you can tap into the pure state of the divine within you. Okay. So all of that for statement of principle day 34. And you may not understand it now, but continue to work with it. This relates to increase prosperity, wealth, and abundance in your life. Everything that I just talked about relates to you increasing the expression of abundance, wealth, and prosperity in your life, because it's already within you. The goal of this 40-day prosperity plan demonstration is to increase the expression of it in your life. Right now, you're only expressing like a very minute, lower level expression of it. And most of the people listening are doing it just through jobs. And this 40-day prosperity plan demonstration is telling you, like, that is like a grain of sand on the seashore. That's like a teaspoon of water from the ocean. Expressing your abundance through a job. And this 40-day prosperity plan demonstration is to get you to see, to open up a fuller expression of the abundance and wealth and prosperity that's already within you. So the statement of principle, day 34, through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply, thus my consciousness of the presence of God within me is my supply. So as long as God is within you, you are always supplied. You always have supply. And as far as, the concept of God has been in existence for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So if the concept of God has been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, that's a lot of supply that's within every one of us. So we got a lot of supply to tap into. We got tens of thousands of years of supply within us. If you want to just look at it in that way, about the concept of God, how long it has existed. So that means we got 20, 30, 40, 50,000. The concept of God, thousands of years, has existed for thousands of years. This concept of a higher being. So that's a lot of supply that we have to tap into and use in this lifetime. Not only for ourselves, but for others. Because remember, this supply is not just for us. It is for other people. So, statement of principle, day 34, through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply, thus my consciousness of the presence of God within me is my supply. Thank you for allowing Selah Leadership Academy for creative and intuitive studies in assisting you in your transformation. Just thank you. A tidbit, I know in this world, people's attention span, unfortunately, is so short. Because they want, if it doesn't catch their attention in 5 minutes, if you can't do everything it needs to do in 5 minutes, most people, tune out. And I almost got caught up in that, especially with the creation of social media, just really quick. You just scroll through, look at a picture, and I had to really redirect myself and stop that. Like, really read post. YouTube, watch the video. Like, even if I watch, and it's not even, I don't even watch it, I just listen to it. So I could be doing something else, but I have it playing in the background. But I listen to it in its entirety. And even if I listen to it for 5 minutes here or 10 minutes there, but I listen to it in its entirety. And I think one reason is because I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I create through writing and through speaking. That's how I create. And I understand that as a teacher, as a writer, as an author, as a poet, that you have to listen. You have to be engaged from the beginning of the lesson all the way to the end. You just can't come in the middle and think that you have it all. Because it was something that was said at the beginning and at the end that's going to help the middle make sense. And that is why it's so many people walking around here walking around the world, just living in this world with misinformation because they just watch 5 or 10 minutes of a video and then go out and repeat it. And it's like you're providing people with misinformation, not even the complete lesson, you're not even giving people all of the information. You're only giving them the first 5 or 10 minutes of it. And then, especially in a spiritual community, and then people wonder why they're not seeing any results, or they're only seeing 5 or 10 minute results, really quick results, and that's it. It's not lasting results. That's because where you're getting your information from is from people who didn't bother to fully commit to the learning process. They only wanted something really quick that's going to get your attention, get you to watch the video, get you to like it, get a bunch of views, and that's it. And it's really, in the spiritual community, is really, really damaging, and it's not helping the collective. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've noticed that collectively the spiritual community is failing people because we're just giving them really quick entertainment sound bites, and we're really not teaching them. We're entertaining them. We're not forcing them to sit down and learn and apply and take notes. And that's why they're not seeing any results in their lives. Watch the video, or in this case, listen to the video in its entirety. You can watch it because there are words that are on the screen, but listen to it in its entirety. Because it's not, would you go, I know it sounds so cliche, but would you go to a dentist who only attended, like 10%, only attended the first 15 minutes of class and then left? Would you go to a doctor who only attended the last 15 minutes of class and came to class late and only came for the last 15 minutes? Would you go to a mechanic, who did the same thing, showed up for the first 5 minutes of class and then left? Everybody that you trust in your everyday life with major things like fixing your car, home repairs, your health, your hair, these people devoted time. They didn't half-ass. They didn't just do 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. They did days, hours, weeks, years in order to really, really understand their profession. And to express or to deliver excellent service. It's so interesting to me that we don't appreciate it when someone half-asses us when it's something important, like I said, our car or home repair, our health, but we're okay half-assing other people. That's why I take this so serious. I'm not here to half-ass. And if I've subscribed to a channel, it's because I really value their content. I really value the time that they put in it to record it. Because unless you record videos, audio is pretty easy. It's easy because you're just talking. But you still have to make sure you're in an environment where there's not a lot of background noise, things like that. But those who really record videos where they're demonstrating a particular skill, or you're seeing their face, that takes a lot, because the lighting has to be right. You got to make sure you're in a quiet background. You got to make sure the camera is focused. If we're seeing the person's face, if it's a woman, basically women, we got to make sure our hair is right, our makeup is right, clothes look right, background is right, everything is in place. That takes a lot. And to not, and not fully watch the video, to me, is a slap in that creator's face. Because of the time and effort they put into producing that content for you. I mean, it's like only watching 15 minutes of a movie, and then you claim that you saw the movie. No, you didn't. You only watched 15 minutes of it. But I really do think that in the spiritual community, the way the collective, the world is going, people are going to have to, if you really want to change your life and be able to navigate what we're getting ready to experience, actually, we're already starting to experience, you're really going to have to devote the time and the energy and the focus to, this can't be entertainment anymore. You're going to have to devote the time and the energy and the focus to studying and learning and taking notes and reading and doing things in its entirety. Because to me, that's just a sign when it seems so simple, not watching a video in its entirety. But yet, you regurgitate the information as if you're an expert. To me, that lets me know that that's what you do in your everyday life. You watch bits and pieces. You may watch your coworker, bits and pieces of what your coworker do, and then you go and try to copy it and expect the same results. Or you watch or observe bits and pieces of a person's life, and then you make up the rest about their life. Or you start a project, you gung-ho for the first day, first 2 days, first week, and then you on to something else. It lets me know that spiritually there's something more going on in your life when you do something like that, when you don't complete a video. And it seems like it's not connected, but it is. I can guarantee you most people who don't watch videos, videos like this where you get knowledge or whatever, if you don't watch it from beginning to end, that pretty much that's how you operate in your life. It's a lot of things that you don't finish, you don't complete. And this is a time, we're getting into a time, and it's going to be, we're beginning this, and then it's going to be like this for a very long time. You better put yourself first. You better prioritize not only your health, your self-care, but how you learn, your mind and your knowledge. Because you're not going to be able to do too much if you don't prioritize yourself. Body, mind, and spirit. All right, I don't know where all that came from because I was ending this video, but I guess it needed to be said. So thank you for allowing Selah Leadership Academy for creative and intuitive studies in assisting you in your transformation. We are on day 34. We have 6 more days to this 40-day prosperity plan demonstration. If you would like to utilize and purchase any of my resources and services, you may do so through my website, tiadeshay.com. You can do it through my app, downloading my app, Mere Moments app on iOS and Android. You can purchase my classes and enroll in my classes on Udemy at Reverend Deandra Everhart. And you can purchase my books on Amazon or other online retailers. Just type in Tia DeShay and my books will come up. I have books of poetry. I had my first book of poetry was If I Only Had 5 Minutes, The Last Will and Testament of a Hip Hop Poet. And that book focuses on the poetry was inspired by hip hop. And the hip hop I grew up on was the hip hop that addressed social issues, that addressed what was going on in the world. It gave voice to the voiceless, and it gave sight and recognition to people that would normally be marginalized and just dismissed and put to the side. So my poems in that book reflect those themes, reflects that energy. My second book of poetry, RSVP, How a Detroit Girl Made Love's A-List, that is an autobiographical book. I told my story, my life in poetry and prose. And then I have another book of poetry, The Color of My Aunt's Coffee, and that was just a fun book. Those poems are just fun poems, like just fun poems, like kind of like if I wanted to be a rapper. Some of them poems remind me if I wanted to be a rapper, I would have, done would have been my 16 bars. My other book of poetry, my most recent book of poetry is called The Pew, the Pulpit, and the Altar, or The Pew, the Pulpit, the Altar. Poems on religion, redemption, and resurrection. Those poems describe metaphorically in poetry, in the style and rhythm of poetry, my experience with religion. So that's out now on Amazon. I wrote my first metaphysical spiritual book entitled Holy Smoke, and I teach you how you can use incense with scripture in the Bible to help you manifest in your life. So it's a metaphysical book where you use scripture and incense to manifest in your life, and it's a book that you can go through for an entire year. It's a scripture for every week of the year, and you can go through this book for the entire year, and when the smoke clears, you can see how God manifests in your life in 1 year if you do it every week for an entire year. And then my most recent metaphysical spiritual book is called Wade in the Water. That should be available for purchase on a global distribution level by the end of this month, by the end of April. That book is about how you can use numerology, astrology, and herbs in your bathing. How you can use numerology, astrology, and herbs when you bathe. You could become more intentional with your bathing and help raise your vibration when you bathe, whether it's a shower or whether it's a bath. You can use astrology, numerology, and herbs to help raise your energetic vibration. And it's entitled Wade in the Water, Intentional Bathing. So that's all the things that are available that I have used my gifts and talents to release into the world and to help people raise their energetic vibration. That is my goal. I teach people how to raise their energetic vibration, because energy is everything. Energy is more important than what you see. Energy is more powerful than what you see. So I teach people how to raise their energetic vibration, and I teach them in a practical way. It's not, oh, you gotta have this elaborate altar in your home and all this other stuff. I teach people how you can raise your vibration in a very practical way. You can raise your vibration with a tea light candle and some herbs in your kitchen. Like, that's how practical I am. Because I've done it before I expanded to the services that I offer now. I'm serious. You can get you a tea light candle and some herbs in your kitchen, and you can raise your vibration, because it's all about intention. So I've told you all about me and all of the services that I offer and that help you. And I have all of these different things because I wanted to be able to provide my services for every level of consciousness. Reverend Ike made a very good point in one of his sermons or messages that I was listening to. And he made an example of how he was like the car companies. He was like everything in the world as far as commerce, material things, buying things, is all connected to people's levels of consciousness. And it's the truth. The first thing that came to my mind as I was saying that was books. If you go to a bookstore, there are books for all levels of consciousness. Wherever you are in your level of thinking and awareness and understanding, there's a book for you in a bookstore. Reverend Ike gave the example of the car dealership. Or not the car, just cars in general, buying cars in general, the car industry. He said that there's a level of consciousness, there's a car for every level of consciousness, and that is true. That is true. And so it's interesting that I heard that when I had been saying that about what I do for a living. I said I wanted to provide my skills, my talents, my gifts for and make it where no matter what your level of consciousness, you could afford my services, regardless of your level of consciousness. Money wise. So my prices reflect all levels of consciousness, and it's not here to judge. It's not here to say one is better than the other. It's just that I understand in this world, everybody is on a different level of consciousness when it comes to what they can or what they believe they can afford to pay. And so my services reflect that. Okay. I didn't realize this video was going to be this long, but I guess it needed to be this long. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been this long, because there are no coincidences. So tomorrow we will be on day 35. So until then, be blessed.